Ah, Chris Chan, what did you do this time? Rape your mother. Yep, sickening. That's absolutely sickening. You always find a new low to stoop to, don't you? Can't say I'm shocked. I grew up in the dark web, so stuff like this doesn't faze me. For those who don't know, Christian Weston Chandler is a mentally ill person on the autism spectrum who was bullied relentlessly on the internet in the late 2000s to early 2010s. Took advantage of his illness to get personal information out of him. And boy, did they get a lot of information. His IP address, email address, phone number, etc. All of which Chris willingly gave to them, not knowing how much this would screw his life over. And he screwed his life over himself plenty of times at this point. In fact, he's done that just now. For that reason, Chris Chan is possibly the most documented person on the internet. And in history, maybe. With all the events in his life being categorized as sagas. And yes, I'm referring to him as a he. Chris Chan admitted himself that he's not trans. He lied in hopes it would get him laid. And we know how that turned out, don't we? Now, unlike bigger YouTubers, I read up on Chris Chan. I knew a lot about him before the whole fiasco with his mom. Did I expect this to happen? No. However, I knew something messed up was going to happen eventually. I watched him as his mental state got more and more diluted over the years. Why? You see, I have autism myself. Not only that, I parallel Chris Chan in a lot of ways, albeit mostly when I was 11 years old. I drew knockoff characters, thought they were groundbreaking, was socially awkward, and I still am. I even thought the world revolved around me, till I realized it didn't, and never will. It's why I got into my angsty teenage phase. But I'll talk about that some other time. I have a tendency to observe, analyze, and research stuff, like what's wrong with my weird brain. At some point, I started learning about illnesses, disabilities, psychology, all that stuff. I'm especially fascinated with the dark side of the human psyche, the kind no one wants to talk about or acknowledge. I've not only been deep in the rabbit hole, I lived in it, walked out of it, and I walk in it again, sometimes. I often think I could have ended up like Chris Chan had I not looked inward towards who I am as a person. Not that my current life is the dream life I yearned for, but it could have been worse. A lot worse. People like seeing a train wreck, and that's what Chris Chan's life is like. Only, this could be the very last train wreck in the saga that is Chris Chan's life. Now, if you want to learn more about Chris Chan, look up Down the Rabbit Hole. It's a nice summary of Chris Chan, or if you have the time, watch the comprehensive history of Chris Chan videos about his life in great detail, all of which are available on YouTube. The comprehensive history part isn't finished yet. The person who makes them is gonna continue at some point. Oh, and subscribe to my channel. Or don't. Your call. Free country and all that.